The Urus rune, the second rune of the Futhark, is commonly thought to be a rune of strength, of independence, and even wildness. Now, a lot of people don't see the connection there, but it is strength that keeps one independent, because an aspect of strength is resistance to change, resistance to change from without, so that you can condition yourself, but you're not going to let someone else do it. Think of strong opinions. A person with strong opinions isn't likely to have his opinions changed, not without a fight. You think of a strong point, and strength is an energy that resists. A strong point, like an armored position, the tower of a castle, it is there to resist the enemy's weapons, to remain unchanged. It's a defensive thing. We think of strong armor. The other type of force, which is Thor's, is more projected force. So Thor's are the cannons aimed at the castle, aimed at the strong point. And just as the armor protects, Thor's is the weapon that strikes. Thor's is projected. But that's all we're going to say about that now, because we don't want to go off on a tangent here. We want to stick to Urus, and the aspect of Urus we're talking about tonight is intensity. And intensity is focused strength. You've known an intense individual. It's not so much that they're out there projecting force, but they're out there, and you can feel this intensity in them. It's intense colors is a good way of looking at it. And if you look at a painting that has some intense colors, the other colors there, and the other colors might be there in more abundance, but they do not diminish the impact of the intense colors. This is the only case I can think of where brilliance can be applied to Urus, as in brilliant colors. Brilliance is usually an aspect of the Ken rune, but you think brilliant colors, intense. Think of intense odors. Think of intense smells, sounds. Again, it's not the same as Thor's projecting them at you, but it's just a concentrated strength of it. I had an example of this once on a platform in New York City, and what happened was, like most commuters who know what they're doing, I always stay 2 or 3 steps back away from the platform. I have a healthy respect for trains. This one young man was standing right on the edge of the platform, and he sort of leaned over and started to reel back a little. So I went and I grabbed the guy just to steady him. I didn't want to see him go on the tracks. And he composed himself. I says, "What happened?" He says, "I leaned over, I got a whiff of this stuff, and it almost knocked me dizzy." So me being the curious one, I kind of lean a little bit and take a whiff, and it was a very strong odor. I would describe it as intense, in retrospect. It was a foul odor. You get a lot of that in the New York subways, They're just a stinky place. But this guy had been overwhelmed, and that's what intensity can do. And intense colors can temporarily blind you or dazzle you. An intense odor can make you reel. Here's the thing that goes back to the ancients. One of the ancient uses of the Urus rune was to make someone dizzy. And that's when intensity overwhelms. So if you have intensity within yourself, it can overwhelm you too. And this is a case where you have to control it. The old formula, I over E, intellect over emotions. Because there are intense people, and prime example is my brother-in-law. This guy gets onto something, he gets intense. He's a pain in the ass to be around when he gets like that. And when we were helping someone do a move a few years ago, he got in there and he just got frantic. This guy had 3 accidents with the vehicle, plus haste makes waste kind of mistakes, locking his keys in the truck, and all sorts of silly things, because he was so intense, he couldn't focus on anything else. So everything else, there were mistakes, there were accidents, he was always in a rush, and that's what intensity can do. It puts you in a rush. It puts you where you're so focused on that one thing that everything else is left hanging there. And again, it causes these stupid mistakes and such. And what you have to do is bank down that intensity, hold it, use it. It can propel you into great places, but it can also push you over the edge if you don't control it. The Urus rune is one of the best runes for study. It's one of the richest runes as far as applications. You know, we talk again, strong opinions, strong odors, wherever the word strong is, because these runes live right under the strata of life, these words apply our own language because people sense there's something there, it's a strength. And Urus can just open so many things. It can open independence, and yes, it is wildness. You notice, for instance, that we admire certain kinds of wild animals for their wild and untamed nature. That strength of character, strength of identity, that they will not give up just to be tamed. So enjoy yours. It's just so much to it. But consider intensity and think how it applies to yourself. A lot of people just study the runes and think it's a bunch of magical symbols. If you can't apply these lessons to the practical side of your life, you're missing the point. Everything spiritual must be practical, and Urus is about as practical as it gets. This is Uncle Thor from the Trollwise Press. I'm wishing you good luck with your studies. Have a good one, folks. Take care.